Good morning. It's Thursday, October 15th, and I'm reading something this morning that should help President Trump make up his mind about an orderly transition if one is needed. President Trump, being a businessman, will appreciate the fact that democracy is based on order. And this presidential election is unusual because of the size of mail-in ballots, which he is constantly attacking. But the Fitch Rating Service, which is one of the largest rating services in the world, says that if the president persists upon this thought, his idea that he might not transition in an orderly manner, that he might challenge the election, that could negatively affect the credit rating of the United States. Right now, the United States has an AAA rating. And if Donald Trump persists on his theories of mail fraud and rigged elections, and he doesn't want to leave the office, etc., 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 that could greatly impact our credit rating. That AAA rating is contingent upon the fact that the election results will be broadly accepted and that there will be an orderly retention or transition of power on Inauguration Day in 2021. The Fitch Rating Service would have no options in reducing our rating from AAA to some other number if the well-understood rules and processes for the transfer of power are not properly executed. So any thoughts of a rigged election or fraud in the election would cause our AAA rating to drop precipitously. Now, the pandemic has put a tremendous strain on our election process. The number of polling places have been reduced because of the pandemic, and the mail-in ballots have been increased greatly because of the pandemic. So the electoral infrastructure is under a tremendous strain, especially in states where the proportion of citizens voting by mail has historically been smaller. And now they're growing by leaps and bounds. And then we've had situations where the Republican Party has placed its own ballot boxes to collect mail without informing state officials. Now, it's not a problem if the Republican Party wanted to place ballot boxes, but without informing the state officials, that's thievery. Who is going to control the opening of that mail? The Republicans? Well, Trump is screaming about fraud. His own party is out there putting ballot boxes in places without telling anybody and knowing very well that the general public has really rarely voted using a ballot box. It's conceivable that they could have collected hundreds, if not thousands, of ballots without any local control. So talk about rigging an election, talk about fraud. Your own party, you are the leader of a party that is the fraudulent entity. This election environment has created the potential for a disputed election result. And that election result reflects the deepening political polarization which exists. And that political polarization will be one of the great challenges of the next administration. And it doesn't matter whether Trump wins re-election or loses. The political polarization in this country has to cease if we are to move forward and maintain our AAA rating. Fitch, in July, revised the U.S. rating outlook to negative because of our political polarization and because of the fact that we do not have any credible fiscal consolidation plan. This continuation of policy gridlock because of the high levels of polarization weakens our institutions and reduces the propensity for bipartisan cooperation. And that cooperation is necessary to efficiently address our economic and fiscal challenges. So while we're running around and worrying about how to vote and who to vote for, the economic outlook in this country is challenged by the views of one of the world-class rating services. And that is not a good thing. And a businessman, a so-called businessman like our president, should appreciate the danger of anything lower than an AAA rating. Is our political environment so much different right now than some third world countries? Think about that. Think about that when you go to the ballot box and cast your vote. So I don't know what else I can tell you about this right now. But I, for one, believe that we have to maintain our AAA rating. So having said that, I'll sign off for now, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.